In the beginning, before angels rebelled and demons stalked the shadows, there was a moment when even the gods themselves trembled. Welcome to today's journey into one of mythology's darkest turning points, when gods fell, the origin of the first demon curse. In this video, we uncover the forgotten tale of divine pride, celestial betrayal, and the ancient curse that transformed immortals into the universe's first demons. Prepare to witness how a single act of defiance shattered the heavens and unleashed a legacy of terror that still echoes through myth and legend. Let's dive into the fall of the divine. When gods fell, the origin of the first demon curse. The story of the first demon curse is one of the oldest themes shared across mythological, religious, and esoteric traditions. Long before demons became the familiar horned, shadow-dwelling creatures of later folklore, the earliest depictions point to something far more complex, beings who were once divine. The fall of gods, those luminous, immortal powers, into cursed spirits marks one of the most dramatic transformations in the mythic memory of humanity. Beneath this transformation lies a deeper question: how does the sacred become corrupted? And what does it mean when the beings who once shaped creation become its destroyers? To understand the origin of the first demon curse, we must look at the ancient belief that the cosmos itself was founded upon order struggling against chaos. Every culture expressed this tension in its own way. Mesopotamia spoke of Tiamat torn apart by the gods, the Greeks told of titans cast into Tartarus, Hindu cosmology described powerful beings who grew proud and fell from their divine station. In each version, the fall was not merely punishment, it was a reshaping of cosmic hierarchy. The first demons were not born evil. They were made. The divine age, before the curse. In the beginning, before the heavens, before the shaping of mortal life, there existed a realm where the gods walked in harmony. This primordial age, often called the Golden Era, was governed by principles of unity, creativity, and cosmic duty. Ancient texts portray the gods as custodians of natural forces, the winds, stars, seas, mountains, and the subtle laws that kept reality in balance. It was a time when every divine being had purpose, identity, and authority. Yet even within the perfect order of the heavens, something stirred. Power, if not properly governed, contains within itself the seed of downfall. Not all gods viewed their roles equally. Some wished to rise higher, gain more influence, or reshape creation to reflect their own desires. Here lies the foundation of the first rupture, an emotional force as ancient as existence itself, envy. In many ancient cosmologies, envy is described not merely as a moral flaw but as a cosmic contagion, capable of infecting the minds of immortals just as plagues infect mortals. The beings who eventually became the first demons did not start as rebels or villains. They were divine artisans, warriors, and spirits who felt their brilliance overshadowed by higher-ranking gods. The first revolution, the fracture in the heavens. Legends throughout the world echo a similar tale. A faction of divine beings, refusing to accept their assigned place in creation, rose against the supreme order. Their rebellion did not arise from pure malice but from a complex blend of ambition, pride, and a yearning for autonomy. They wanted to create their own cosmic laws, their own worlds, perhaps even their own worshippers. This heavenly uprising is recorded across cultures. In Mesopotamian myth, younger gods rebelled against their ancestors. In Greek lore, the Titans defied the Olympians. In Judeo-Christian tradition, an angelic host rose against heaven. In Egyptian cosmology, Set and his followers opposed the divine harmony of Ma'at. These stories differ in details but share a single core: the gods themselves were capable of falling. The rebellion fractured the perfect unity of the heavens. What began as ideological conflict soon erupted into cosmic war. The rebels believed they fought for freedom, the loyal gods believed they defended the fabric of creation itself. The scale of the conflict shook the cosmos, stars dimmed, primordial seas churned, and the foundations of reality trembled. The divine judgment, birth of the first curse. When the rebellion was defeated, the supreme gods faced a terrible decision. The rebels were not mere creatures to be destroyed, they were divine, eternal, and woven into the structure of existence. Destroying them outright would risk unraveling the universe. Yet allowing them to remain in their former glory would invite further conflict. Thus was created the first demon curse. It was not a magical spell in the simple sense, but a cosmic transformation, a rewriting of the rebels' very essence. Their radiant forms dimmed, their immortal beauty twisted, their powers warped into shadows of their former nature. The curse stripped them of celestial authority and exiled them from the realm of light. But most importantly, the curse was psychological as much as metaphysical. It severed their connection to the divine harmony, leaving them eternally restless, eternally hungry, eternally estranged. What had once been creativity became destruction. What had once been wisdom became deceit. What had once been divine fire became the consuming flames of wrath. The first demon curse, then, was not simply punishment. It was a metamorphosis. Exile into the abyss, descent of the fallen. After the curse, the fallen gods were cast out of the heavens. Where they landed varies in myth. The Judeo-Christian tale speaks of a bottomless pit, Greek tradition of Tartarus, Mesopotamian lore of the netherworld ruled by Ereshkigal, and Norse cosmology of a shadow realm beneath the roots of the world tree. In these abysses, the exiled beings slowly lost their last traces of divinity. Cut off from celestial radiance, they adapted to their new environment. The abyss did not merely imprison, they shaped it, and it shaped them. Their resentment and pain became the atmosphere of the underworld, darkening it with spiritual poison. Their new home was forged from their grief. Over time, they transformed completely. Their new forms, the earliest demons, reflected the darker aspects of the cosmos: entropy, decay, discord, and chaos. Yet within them, a spark of their divine origin remained, which made them far more dangerous than any mortal spirit or beast. They could tempt, corrupt, manipulate, and deceive, using knowledge they gained in the heavens themselves. Thus the first demons were born, not creatures of instinct, but fallen gods with purpose. The curse spreads, from gods to spirits, from spirits to mortals. The first demon curse did not end with the fall of the gods, rather, it radiated outward like a spiritual infection. Their mere presence in the abyss corrupted other beings. Lesser spirits, shadows, or elemental forces that wandered too close became twisted versions of themselves. These secondary demons lacked the intelligence of the originals but carried their malice and hunger. Some cultures describe the curse spreading into the mortal world as well. Humans who practiced forbidden rites, broke sacred oaths, or communed with the abyss became tainted. Shamans, kings, or sorcerers who sought power from the fallen gods found themselves transformed. This idea appears in ancient texts across the globe. The Akkadian concept of utuku, spirits twisted by curses. Greek stories of necromancers corrupted by chthonic powers. African traditions of spirits who lose their way and return as malevolent entities. Jewish lore of humans possessed and reshaped by unclean spirits. In each case, the demon curse becomes a bridge between the divine, the spiritual, and the human worlds. The meaning of the curse, why gods fell at all. The origin of the demon curse is not merely a mythological event, it is a symbolic explanation of a universal truth: even divine beings are not immune to flaws. The fall of gods reflects humanity's own fear of corruption, ambition, and the consequences of moral failure. It offers a cosmic mirror in which we see our own vulnerabilities. The first demon curse also explains the existence of evil in a world created by divine beings. Rather than attributing all darkness to an external, foreign force, ancient traditions taught that evil emerged from within the divine order itself. It was not a flaw in creation but a flaw in choice. Thus the curse serves several functions. A moral warning that pride leads to downfall. A cosmic explanation for the origin of destructive and chaotic forces. A theological solution showing how divine beings can coexist with evil without being its creators. A psychological truth: even beings of great power can be undone by their desires. The lasting legacy: why the first demon curse still matters. Stories of the fallen gods remain powerful because they speak to something eternal, the fragility of order and the resilience of rebellion. They explain why humans fear the unseen, why temptation exists, and why the boundaries between good and evil are never fixed. The first demon curse also shaped later religious beliefs about moral corruption, spiritual warfare, and the struggle between light and darkness. It provided the blueprint for countless myths. The fallen angels of Christianity, the Asuras of Hinduism, the Titans of Greek lore, the Yaksha and Rakshasa of Buddhist and Jain traditions, the jinn who rebelled in pre-Islamic Middle Eastern mythology. All of these beings share the same origin story, beings who once held divine authority but lost it through their own choices. The eternal significance of the fall. When gods fell, the origin of the first demon curse is more than myth, it is a story about transformation, consequence, and the limits of power. It reminds us that greatness can turn to ruin, that purity can sour into corruption, and that even the celestial realms are not immune to conflict. The first demon curse marks the moment when perfection shattered. From that moment on, the cosmos became a place of duality, light and darkness, order and chaos, hope and fear. Yet without that fall, the myths suggest, there would be no struggle, no growth, no story. The fall of gods created not only demons but also the possibility of redemption, choice, and meaning. The origin of the demon curse stands as one of humanity's most enduring reflections on the nature of good and evil. And in every culture, it echoes the same message. It is not power that defines a being, but how it chooses to wield that power. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into When Gods Fell, the origin of the first demon curse. If this journey into shattered divinity and the birth of darkness sparked your curiosity, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next exploration into ancient myth and hidden history. Share your thoughts in the comments. What part of the first demon curse fascinated you most? And if you want more stories like this, check out the links in the description. Until next time, keep seeking the truth behind the legends.